be desperate, they don't fail for be capable for defeating us on the ground, and now they use now propaganda, pains, comebacks to go out and campaign and deceive our people. Then may they abandon the struggle for their freedom. So we will start today about the interview where Chris Anu, the former spokesperson for the IG group, Seseko group, where they began fire, he then give an interview with the Honorable Hoffman, and I will play some excerpt for that video. Una know say as they run the fight, say the one go interview A, interview B, because then feel say by interviewing white people, then it will give them some credibility, because then feel say our people then primitive. When they don't see white man, they don't bring anything we talk. But the more that they do them, the more that they expose the negative things and way they try for do them for make we lose this war. Because we don't tell and say this is not people then way they fight for war where they don't really believe in, and they don't already hear it for run go make agreement so that they will stop the war, and then they will benefit, they will make them give them cheer, then they not go give justice for Southern Cameroon. Our people they go continue for the suffer the same way where they began to suffer before the war it once start. So I go give for now. Would I make mistake like that for our history before? When I remember I said the time where Ndele if the govern Southern Cameroon fine. The La Republique them then go meet up na Jongu Foncha there for back, then give them small money, me then start political party for support their campaign so that they go can promote the agenda of one Cameroon when an agenda where it go can spoil Ambazonia. Foncha they be hairy for go for day, and they be win election, they be win popularity contest, then go compromise our sovereignty. But even though they be do Foncha a conscience if the judges more, and it don't give you a chance for fight for our freedom, for take our stolen sovereignty back for we. That the same mistake then we would make them over and over for our history, where this never again generation will need for correct them. So I go take una, make we go directly for the interview with Chris Anugian for Honorable Hoffman from the German Parliament, and for tell una a little bit about the Swiss talks. And not say plenty una for ground zero, una ran the year say they want go dialogue for Swiss. When the year the people where they talk say that Swiss dialogue you know fine, because self the people then where they go for good dialogue for they come tell we say the way where they make the dialogue now one way go favor and say meetings and me the war don't stop, you know go give we justice. Even the people where the Switzerland people them they still call we no be like Southern Cameroonian them, but they want treat the Ambazonian revolution like an opposition where they rebel against the system of the Pobia regime. But we know say we fight now for independence, and now wait to where our people then want them absolute independence. Now they think that way we're picking and carry gun for fight for, and now they think that way we fit get them, and they think that way we must get them. Anything short than that, now only thing way it go waste our blood, our time, and it go put we in jeopardy where we go suffer even past the one way we don't suffer so far. So ladies and gentlemen, this platform, as we know very well, now me una countryman, Mr. No Connie, it means I don't like ben, I like na straight things them. So I go to give una this thing them me straight the way we did without any ben, and I need to do talk na empty talk, I give una substantiation and prove them for which why they talk and we do enough research, enough consultation so that make una know the truth and nothing but the truth, for make una own assessment them on waiting for do, waiting for support, and waiting no for do. So ladies and gentlemen, maybe we'll go directly for the video, for the interview with Chris Ano Iduan with Mr. Hoffman. Inside this video, he revealed a lot of things and way I go and bring up for our attention. And for people who did wait for that Angwafo a matter, maybe we're gonna just hold on, we will come for day. But first, this interview.
Paul Biya is the one blocking this the Swiss HD mediation initiative. What, in your opinion, do you think should be done to take away that blockage?
Yeah, I'm convinced that there has to be much more pressure from the international community, but you also have to see on the other side if the pressure is too much.
So I go take the video, I go broke and small so that make all money understand very well, especially my country people, them and Ambazonia, and the way we will talk with a pigeon, so that make gonna understand very fine which way it happen. The interview where if we do as we don't tell na Chris Arnold them now they don't turn na worker them for that company for Switzerland where they call and say HD. So if you listen for an interview them, it be full of negative question. There is plenty way they teach them for school, but picking the way they don't learn school for journalism. We will never go for the school for journalism, but we only learn them and learn them for book, for has. It is talk say if you want ask man question me affirm which way you talk, you dey ask a positive question. Like say if I don't want talk say you want chop no, you want chop no, you will make me talk say yes, you go don't take a chop. But if I want ask you question about chop, I tell you say the way they chop small, you sure say you go chop. So if I ask you say you sure say you go chop, or I say you want chop, now the same question, but one na a negative question, one na a positive question. So Chris Anu, if una look when he bring this international personality them, he want force them me then talk thing where he go dey show say Ambazonian he no go win. He know they bring them for can expose say Ambazonian fit win because their agenda na for suppress our enthusiasm, discourage our people for abandon their struggle for independence in favor of a Swiss stock where you no go get any way for hella women will get independence, but na for bring some who surrender, me the leader then chop their own money, me the people then go back. The same thing we Fundi they be done they do the same thing where all the past generation it done they do for our people. When they see struggle them way it be popular, they see for them now opportunity for all man for can make your own money, for all man for can run for stand for before, for all man for run say na me I want go negotiate so that they will go make their deal. So nevertheless, I will come for explain una exactly which way it happen and the big revelation where this man Igiam will be very important. Make all man understand which way the man it talk. So make we go ahead.
Paul Biya is the one blocking the Swiss HD mediation initiative. What, in your opinion, do you think should be done to take away that blockage?
Yeah, I'm
So the first thing we wanna need to understand, na say line it last for long. Una remember say Chris Anu and Sako they be done talk say Paul Biya he done already sign. Say Paul Biya he done commit. Say make would them go negotiate for Switzerland. Una remember no? So na ye the Chris Anu na they talk say na Paul Biya be the blockage. Paul Biya nobody agree for go negotiate. When they see all this their contradiction, it is show una say they no get no credibility at all. And whatever way they talk am na only for manipulate people them for go for a specific direction without any real rationale behind or any real possibility for the thing for actually benefit the people the way they want lead them. So it be important make una know this their manipulation as we hear which way they talk am.
convinced that there has to be much more pressure from the international community, but you also have to see on the other side much. Sometimes people get to lean to another side, which is offering a hand as well. That might be China, and so the West has just limited possibilities for sanctions or personal sanctions, something like that. So this is a limited approach we have, and but we should come up clearly. This thing has to stop.
So the message where this parliamentarian for Germany in the talk, and it for important committee where it be versed about the international negotiation them and talks them for the corridor for diplomacy where they go on. It talk say this war need for stop. The need for stop Mr. Paul Biya, and it talk in terms of pressure. Say for the international community to apply pressure for Paul Biya, even give it sanction them. There is always a very loophole because China will always help the Paul Biya because China and the European them and the American they need to talk for one mob when it comes for international diplomacy. So it talk about how for do them, but it talk say for sure this war the need for come for inside this war for make it end.
Can be put aside, and Germany has financed quite a long time.
So he go
Choose
talk.
your governor.
He go talk now directly about the so-called Swiss stock, where they use them for can campaign now about them for on behalf of the HG for campaign for our people. Then when I remember say when they want talk, they talk about the Swiss stock, they used a lot of difficult word them before we get opportunity for here very clean and clear because they not be the intent for manipulate so much, but this man give we clear information about them. Make una hear.
Conflict, this can't last forever. So this is, I mean, we have been having the Swiss mediation for 2 years. This is too long, and we should stop it now. And this.
So una the year now the German parliamentarian, it tell the people them from Amazonia say they don't already get that Swiss talk. The Swiss talk where the Cristiano they be talk, it don't already go on for 2 years. For these 2 years, this HD, it pay Chris Ano and all those people the way they go there, allowances and some type of money for transportation for facilitate their thing we go for the way na they motivate them. They don't become like agent for them. They talk now for that people them. They need to try for even buy guns or for do anything for the soldier for ground zero. But then they now for facilitate that Swiss talk. So this parliamentarian, he go give una the facts. We would then talk for long. And also when white man he talk him too, he add voice because when some people then like they trust white man. But this man get credibility and he go tell now the real state about all this conversation the way they go on. Point number 1, the Swiss HD talk, it don't go for 2 years. He never give any solution, he never take any way forward. One of the reasons why be there now because na a scam. It not be meant for resolve anything. The second thing we be there, I say the leader the way they for they not get they not be competent for negotiate on behalf of Amazonia because they not get the influence as much as them fee get them for negotiate by themselves. So they not be relevant enough, they not be influential enough diplomatically and on the ground. Diplomatically because they not get credibility because of the scandals of corruption. We on that year even the UK parliamentarian they mention them also. So they not be fit do anything. Even though they want to have a sell the struggle, they not be fit sell them. Now either way diversity at some time may be very good when we get diverse side them. So when I hear the number 1 point where they talk now say the Swiss talk it don't go on for 2 years and it don't be too long. It not be needed. Me then stop them. When I hear what we go talk them.
Last forever. So this is, I mean, we have been having the Swiss mediation for 2 years. This is too long, and we should stop it now.
So we don't get the negotiation for Switzerland for too long, 2 years. We should stop it now. And the effort the way it go on around the world for build this new coalition for start a new process, you know, get nothing to do with the Swiss talk and nothing to do with Sako them as one of the year that they try for see deceive our people them. Or not just the international community that they come together with various partners in Amazonia, they engage them, and some of them people of goodwill for stand up for justice for the people of the Southern Cameroon and we need to understand the truth and the reality of how things are working so that our people they could get the right expectation and they could get the right understanding for which way it happen for their future. Make a player make una here.
Who's your governor?
Conflict, this can't last forever. So this is, I mean, we have been having the Swiss mediation for 2 years. This is too long, and we should stop it now. And this is what we have in the initiative with the American parliamentarians, with some German parliamentarians. We have some parliamentarians from the European Parliament, and hopefully we get a critical mass together so we put pressure on our governments and maybe see some, at least the threat of sanctions might even help.
So what's the way the Mr. Honorable Hoffman in the talk? Now say that Swiss thing it don't come too long for 2 years and it need for stop. I think he go further for explain the fundings of that Swiss stock. Then the second thing where it talk and where it be important. Now say the parliamentarian the way they talk now, the one for German, the one for UK, the one for France, the one for America, they kind of synchronize their work together so that if you put enough pressure, like I explained last time, for the executive branch, for the government, for their country, for come together, for put in place a real negotiation possibility by threatening Paul Biya so that me comfortable with power, by force, by power, for can make a negotiated solution for this war for independence. And this one, this time, it will be with the backing, possibly, of the countries and where they be involved with the champion. And now, for it will likely involve the Swiss government, but not the HD anymore. It will involve probably, I'm talking about probability. They go from where to where they get them from the diplomatic side. Them I say a lot of countries and they're not over engaged for day. And if it go the right way, because we not accept any illegitimate or any facade in the name of negotiation, any negotiation is supposed to be fair and it's supposed to be backed with an with a enforcement mechanism, and the outcome need to be recognized. So we know we'll go for any kind of negotiation for negotiation's sake. Now the things in that way it talk now the things in that way it be built up right now for the international community.
Yes, I agree. This is much too long, and there is always, and I mean, in former times there was a doctrine saying stability is most important. So a lot of leaders got away, although there was a human right violation. They got away with it just by saying, okay, this country is a stable country and not a civil war country and something like that. But now I think we have to come to.
So what's the way they talk now the reality of why the war it don't go too long? Because most of them for the international community, as they explain them, they be the work on this philosophy say stability it be more important because it is not a civil war. So but now it acknowledge and say now a civil war and things that don't change humanitarian violation that are go on by the Cameroon government in particular. So there is a need for the international community for come inside now for make sure say me then stop Mr. Paul Biya a war and for try for get to the bottom for resolve this crisis where this war will they inside with the Republic to Cameroon. So the whole that time the war be the fee say better just to get stability. After all, people they nobody die too much. So they run be the one to get stability, but it needs but nothing, no but change. So it they not allow me continue like this forever, especially with the humanitarian crisis affecting over 2 million people, with close to 30,000 people dead already, and villages burned, students not being able to go to school because the Ambazonia people cannot be allowed to educate their own children, and the occupation forces are carrying atrocity in our territory. So they say the time for stop this Mr. Paul Biya a war of Ambazonia, the dam come.
To a point where this conflict, this can't last forever. So this is, I mean, we have been having the Swiss mediation for 2 years. This is too long and we should stop it now. And this is what we have in the initiative with the American parliamentarians, with some German parliamentarians. We have some parliamentarians from the European Parliament. And hopefully we get a critical mass together so we put pressure on our governments and maybe see some, at least the threat of sanctions might even help.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that is a true state of the diplomatic progress of our war of revolution, of our independence war. There don't be a group of people where they want to go negotiate for Switzerland. They don't compromise themselves in doing that because they don't receive money from foreign governments and money from La Republic to facilitate the project. And the project will not be being a one way for if we independent, a wider way. The governing council will deny for good day, and a wider way the talks will not be relevant and it not work. And the war now after the United Nations, also the Secretary General office, it don't fail for get engagement with La Republic for commit for a negotiated settlement to the United Nations. Those on the top on the ground diplomatic contacts them, it don't fail. So the international community then now they ramped up pressure for come to solve the root causes of our war. Now whether they talk about the root causes now whether they identify for reality our state. And when I remember how they be done one the Cameroon government say if they continue like this, that Cameroon will separate. And indeed Mr. Paul Biya then choose the path for continue like this. It don't make it clear for the international community. Even the Vatican way they play politics, they don't come for ye. It is still deny say he won't continue for fight because it believes say if you win through war, the best democracy for the world, the most intelligent country way they don't over sabi master this palaver for government, the United States of America, their Secretary of State, if you don't tell Mr. Pobia, the ambassador to Yaoundé, if you don't tell Mr. Pobia clean and clear, you cannot win this war. You cannot win Ambazonia. You cannot win the Amber Boys. Corruption, bribery, assassination, all these things, burning villages, you will not win the Ambazonian fighters. Kidnapping their leaders, you will not win their fighters. And so Mr. Pobia have to come to the reality that his country is going down the drain because of this crisis. He will go for prison because of the atrocity, the way they commit them for this crisis, and the need for surrender, withdraw their forces, and negotiate their exit, a settlement for their occupation, so that Ambazonian people then exercise their God-given right to exercise the power of self-determination and establish the will of the people, which is far for the majority of the people is for independence. So now the things that way I want I know be presenting last time, that's the last video I know be showing last time. I hope say una them get them and it them benefit una. So ladies and gentlemen, my mommy them, my papa them, we go now for inside Amber to Amber. For Amber to Amber, would I hear say for Angwafo, the paramount fund of Mancon, it then they get wahala, and time for we for use the series of cultural war, because I do a series of cultural war where they tackle our cultural challenges and where they prevent us from being effective during this period of our revolution. For Angwafo, as we know very well, now one of the fun way they dupe say na be one of the most educated fund the way that whole fundum for inside Ambazonia. EBB, a member of Cameroon from 1962 up to 1988, and Naside Mr. Pobia appointed people them. EBB the vice president for the CPDM, EB CPDM Central Committee person, and the fund of for Angwafo, if I remember, just like the SDF people, then are corny people, then where they be greedy, they want money for themselves. When the Prime Minister of La Republique, the lapdog Diangote, if you go visit him last year and 2019, he be tell say this, so the people them for inside a palace for a fund, they don't change. They not still been before. He be tell them say they must resolve this problem for true way as it be. But eventually they can't show you money. We'll see how for Angwafo he abandon the people them. He run go for upstation, he go participate for La Republique du Cameroon, their so-called House of Chiefs. So that one a treason, and he be a wanted person for treason. And Mr. Angwafo, he go face the death penalty for the act of treason for participating in that election, and that House of Chief will be organized by a foreign government. As we don't warn our people then, the sovereignty is supreme. Nobody who commit treason shall go free. So today we'll get to talk about what will happen for the fund and fund of Mancon for Angwafo a palace. Now a very important thing for we for talk as I began to tell now, many of these our funds them, they need to represent that their people, their interests. They represent that their own interest and their immediate family, their interests. And the fund for Mancon, which way it happen now for Mancon, it show a clear picture of the type of funds where they be willing to sell their people for cheap, small benefit, while and they sell away the whole future for entire generation. So make a take una for the footage and where they come for inside Mancon. Make una see which way it happen. The indigenous people them for that land, the lay people them, that means the common man them for inside Mancon where they know they for royal family, they don't come out the protest that the video this.
ne betabi la e bakaga gada ne bagware bi ne chumgi singa ba bu tem ne ze tu bu ne kang zenda aben bon ba ngi songa kanga na tum da bos na tum bu tungo bu nu maza.
So wait way wa mami de talk am wa takum bang de talk am for inside Mancon na very serious thing. we don't try to reach out for some of those mami them for already know way to way it happen, and indeed they don't talk explain exactly way to way it happen. So exactly way to way it happen for Mancon now na say waiting. For Angwafo, the third, it don't begin seize land them for people around Fon's Palace area there. It is seize that land, the talk say, now only palace people picking them need for B house or for gate house corner palace. But it is say lay people them, that means say common people they don't do na farming. They not feel B house or corner palace, it must give them only for picking them. It is seize the land for people them, it need to give them compensation. It is take the land, sell them back for give them for picking them, if picking them they take her now, sell them for Bamelike, sell them also for lay people the way they get money. So now the kind injustice then this way for Angwafo the doer. Here I picking them. A very, very greedy man. Now the only kind person this way, if he go participate for La Republique, their house of chiefs, and they bring all these things there so that me gonna know the truth. I wanna go see how La Republique if done the play game for manipulate our chief them, for use them against our people. So this one a lesson for all Ambazonians. No be only man way come up for inside Mancon. You go open eye for people who come up for Bafut, for people who come up for Bakwere, from Bayangi, for the one that they come up for Emoyo Job, the one that they come up for Miselele. All Ambazonians them wanna go benefit something from this one. Even the one they won't saw, then to go benefit something for this one. And La Republique, they be done already know say we love our tradition and religion so much, and they know say the key for control the people from Ambazonia now for manipulate them through the Catholic Church, most part, religion as a whole, and through our traditional rulers. So for Angwafo, when I remember the fund where we did for inside Mancon, the big fund where we get highest respect for Mancon, where if we die when a powerful for Angwafo before if one leave here. They call it na fond de fru. Fond de fru, it be been a very good fund. By the time where everyone died, this fund for Angwafo as soon as the sea and so, where you don't go begin the salon hand for Shantabia, they dishonor our culture. They come na seminar for can seize people the land. For Angwafo, it not be supposed to be at the fund for inside Mancon. Because if it be a man way down study now some of the Southern Cameroonians in this way they be study for Nigeria. If be study for Ibadan University, so now man way be down go school very far. The British people them, the French people they be know say they feel you see how they be choose for use Jongo Foncha. So they become through Mr. Nangang. Any man way come over inside Mancon, they know Mr. Nangang be been a rich man way get good connection with Amadou Ahidjo with the French government. The time where the Southern Cameroon they be the struggle for decide for follow independence or not, they be already there for ground. The bright people them, and they be see say the fund for Mancon Igo can die. The next fund will be very important. The number one picking where it be supposed to be in a fund, it be been and day. It don't can last die for small Mancon day for Bamenda day. It don't go all life. It be can't talk say. It be supposed to be in a chief. If power be right the fruit for Mancon, it be right list. For picking the way they go be fun. For Angwafo where it be a fun for day today, so it name no be day for day. The way na it be supposed to be fun, where the chief maker that be supposed to be fun, Mr. Nangang, then bring big money can tell you say no go choose that life for be a chief. Instead go do business, open big business then. Because if you want to do a business, you know if they go for the shidon for palace, the soft palace problem them. Now say they can't deceive them. Them bribe all China them, all the king makers them. For Angwafo where a name no be even there for inside list where probably put and send a chief then that possible candidate for chiefs. Them bribe and suited then can't put nana ye, then license because he be educated, he know how to talk English, he go be the most educated person where ever be found for Southern Cameroons, all and that. Now say then deceive our people them. They began to manipulate who is a fund in Ambazonia. Most of the chiefs they own at the same today for ground zero, not be the legitimate one then where they follow the lineage and the tradition where they part the began, not be the picking the way they be know say they go be the true custodians for tradition, not be the one the way they know say they go be the people that they go represent the interest of the people. But there are some who are doing that, and we want to salute person like Fonabumbi, We to don't stand for reject corruption, for stand with the people then, suffer with the people then, be ready for die for the people then. So for Angwafo from the beginning, that way then do that bribery so, they make for Angwafo me become fun for inside Mancon. The real picking them way they begin at picking them on the fruit where they be supposed to be chief. All them they run away for village because they fear say for Angwafo go kill them. Now why that one see say for up station? For that type of up station, you get some village where they call na Nsong. Some village over there they talk the same Mancon talk. For inside Mancon, you also get Nchong village. The people that are Nchong now then come out, go for up Mancon, then go start their own chieftaincy for day, then get their own small palace for day. You come right, even for Alabukang too come out can start palace for Alabukang. For the way na people there they supposed to be na funds, the real prince funds for Mancon. Even for Chumba too for inside Mancon they for Bamenda, na so the people they run come out for day. So this picking them, the real fund way is supposed to be for the time way I want open where that business money they don't start go down. They can't begin talk say na he be chief, he want be the real chief. For Angwafo talk say they will make us so they will kill you. That parents suffer so they can die own brother. I want tell una the truth. So that make una no begin see the chief then let's say na God put them for day. Now corruption, manipulation, some of them kill their brothers to become chief with the help of the colonizer. At that time, they be foolish, they be feasting na just for be chief, they will give them money, they will get land. They no be no say they want use them politically. So then be left with a country where plenty of the so-called chiefs, they violate tradition, they violate the will of their people. Because say the person who put them for day, if they come back, they can ask them the service for that job where they be put them for day illegally. So the people from Mancon, they need to know the truth. Say for Angwafo no be the choice for the gods of that land, if I may put it that way. For Angwafo no be the choice for a papa wait and die. Now why that way it be if he easily sell una? Now why that way it be so greedy? Or he picking them. Now so he picking now the third vice president for CPDM. Number 3. The Rijo can take people the land, seize them. Even the land them for your own brother them way, they be supposed to be chief. He don't take power, drive them for inside Mancon. They don't can be house them. Even for Atuafo for on Atuakum. For Mancon day, when some of your brother they become open that quarter for day. Now we city damn big. Get the caller. Hello? Are they online? Yeah, I'm online. You want to participate or you want to talk about something? We'll talk later. So even for Bamenda for Atuakum way, he brother be down run village. Come for they can take land them for they start the build house for their own people them, share house for the commoners, they meet and get house plot for work farm. He don't come for they even for that side they can't take land, sell them. He can't take land, get for picking them, they sell them. They lay people them for inside Mancon. Like the one they want to sell for the video. They don't get land for even work farm. The mammy they don't get farm for work farm. They can't seize their land them. He use them for go work farm for picking them. He picking away then they for America, then they for UK, then they for Yaoundé. They can't use Nadi mammy them. Me then go work their farm. For Mancon na law, even Tower be there for student for BHS Mancon. They can't take me student and go work for Angwafo for a farm them. He carry all that chop for himself. The people that for Mancon, they no get no right for their land. Because one man here in his family, with greed, they want to take everything for themselves. The fun of Mancon today, for Angwafo the third, and they picking them, they do the same thing where the white man they be do and for we, time for colonialism. Now the same thing, would they work for them, they chop. They should done for their house, they chop. So my country people, I want me gonna open una eye. Me all man for Mancon. Me gonna no leave am. All una must stand up for una right. The land for Mancon belong for all picking them from Mancon. The custodians, the chief is supposed to be in a man where they share that land equally for all picking them from Mancon. No be one way they can't use people then less slave. The woman their own picking them they go school now how. They go their small family they be manage life. Make jama, make tomato, cancel and for Bamenda for food market. They go do na how. So we not go allow this thing. Now the same thing we say even for Atlantic State. You go for there, the one way they call an phone, wait mukete. Land, that land na God a land. It don't give for all man way them born for that land. For here for Hong Kong, they get their indigenous people them. They get law where they allocate land for every family or rights for land for every family where stay for here. For China na the same. Government they can't take land now for empower people. The traditional authority where they get that land, not before the chief ye one. Village not belong to chief. All land them not belong to chief. There must be equity in the way where they share things of a chief, things of a palace. So my country people, I know one day will be foolish people them again. The time for foolishness it don't pass. Human development it need for evolve beyond primitivity. In those days, time where German people they be defeat German for inside southern Cameroon, the British people they become, then Helen will fight with them, will defeat the Germans then take our land will get them to the Amazonia. They start to bring liberalism. They start to say before na the German time, na chief they be the collect tax. Now the one me administration they collect tax so that they would use the money for me benefit all man. Chief then start deny. They start write later about Queen. Say they overgive the liberalism. They give too much freedom for citizens them. Now everybody have a mouth to speak anyhow. Anybody can speak. Because they don't want democracy. They don't want me people then speak for themselves. They don't want human right. They don't want justice for the people them. My country people them. I go take one again now for inside our teaching what will be the teacher where now the teaching how human being they evolve. Now how chief them come out now will be make the palava say chief. The whole palava say man na chief. Now thing where come from our forefathers and where they be the migrate. We as the Tikari people, as we be migrate from that side, all black man they work at the camp. For Mancon Palace, it never pass 30 generation. For Angwafo, I think number 32 fun way down there for inside that place. So when the people they be first come for that place, the leader way be the bring them way be the show road. Now the one way they make a maybe the chief, the traditional ruler for day. So human being they don't evolve. The person way they call and say chief, it will be in a family way before grant protection for people. Family way before give security for people. Now why that way all has they be then around phony house. They come go work farm. They give protection. They be the use they be for protect their own chop because if family grow, like how early man be start. It start with man and a woman, then born picking, the other neighbor then can stay together so that they feel able to protect themselves, get communal life. They start to go cut, get food for this side, they go work farm for this side, then get their sphere of influence where they can call and say village. If people for the other side, the one can take chop for their own side, they will go fight them, drive them up. So that say village is then develop, na say village, then na say human being develop into villages. So the person where they like chief, now just say one time, now if papa be leader for that community, now if papa then know the history, now the reason that way they make it chief. The reason why you be a chief, now for show your people then the road. The reason why you be chief, now for protect the interest of your people. That is the reason you are a chief. You are not a chief to take from them and enslave them. No, you used to take from other people and give your people. Take in your land and give your people. It's for your people, not your people becoming your slaves. So, from that stage where people that don't develop, for people that
Stay tuned on ACN TV. We will be right back. Stay tuned on ACN TV. We will be right back. Stay tuned on ACN TV. We will be right back. Stay tuned on ACN TV. We will be right back. Stay tuned on ACN TV. We will be right back. Welcome to ACN, the Liberation TV of Ambazonia. Ambazonia Defense Forces, the vanguards of the Ambazonia War of Independence.
Donne-moi rester là-bas avec. Donne à un enfant, voilà.
no individual shall not be allowed to hide behind traditional rule to sell our country again. So for Angwafo is subject to arrest for committing the crime of treason by conspiring with the foreign government, the government of Cameroon, to impose an institution on our territory called the House of Chiefs, meant to subvert our sovereignty. It is treason, high treason during a time of war, and Fon Angwafo should be arrested, prosecuted, and face the ultimate death penalty for the crime of treason. So the thing we'll see today for Mancon, how our people they march against ye. For instance, Mancon, they protest because he don't take all land for Mancon, sell them, take all land for people, lay people them, sell and give for picking them, or even go for the brother the way they don't run village, go they take their land for Atua Kumde, they give for Atua for also for Chomba, Alabukam, they take land, they sell them for foreigner them. All that one are betrayer, and the people of Mancon should know that their fund is a traitor. Their fund do not represent their will. Their fund, who is supposed to be a papa for all man, have become a thief who have partnered with La République du Cameroun to sell his own village and should face the ultimate penalty. And this should be a message to all the traditional rulers who have the responsibility to represent the traditional authority, that they must stand on the side of the people. They must stand on with the will of the people and represent the will of the people. During the time of the Germans, they fought the Germans. The real funds that were there, they fought against the Germans. The fund in Mancon who was there, he fought against the Germans. He fought even against assimilation from the English people. We hear the story of Zingraf, how they challenged Zingraf. Today, fund them the need for stand together with the oppressed people, including men of God. The reason why Jesus Christ come now for fight for the oppressed people they suffer. If you say you are a man of God and in your church you are not praying for justice for the people of Southern Cameroon, if by Connie you fear for use the name Ambazonia, the Europeans they call the name Ambazonia, call the name Southern Cameroon, there is no excuse because their cause is just. Any real man of God should be praying, having fasting for justice and peace for the people of Southern Cameroon, because these are the people who are the oppressed people. These are the people who have been subjected to arbitrary arrest. These are the people who have been subjected to extrajudicial killing, torture, and rape. Nobody who say he's a man of God, living in that land or from that land, who does not ask for justice, can say he has faith in God, or that he knows God, or he have the Spirit of God. Even those who are priests, I appreciate the ones who are in contact with us, but they have to stand on the side of the oppressed people. That is their religious obligation. Religious and tradition are supposed to people who represent the higher standard of morality. The morality that says you have to stand for principle, even if it means your own death. If your life is more important than the justice of other people, then you don't need or you don't have to stand in front that you are a religious leader or you are a traditional leader. This should be clear to the mind of all of our own people. And I want to thank even the Presbyterian Church who have stood the ground when they come and manipulate them to go and make a rally in Boya. And we talk to them and they reason and they say, yes, you people are right. The people are going through oppression. The least the church can do is to stand with the people. So our people, the way they live for inside Mancon, the lay people them, we fund they seize their land, where they work farm, they manage their life, make them fight continuously for their justice. We there for their back. The fund for Mancon, it not being at the fund where be supposed to be for they. So me they not fear anything. Me they not begin use tradition for manipulate them. like say they no get eye, they never learn too. So for conclude again, I go come play una the video for the diplomatic update where I began. I think our technical staff didn't send me a video where I need to play. I'm also add today. Just about the HD thing. As we don't talk say as Chris Ano the fight for go call people then, hey, when I come for interview. When I come for interview, he actually exposed the truth for Ambazonian. Me they know say the things the way will be deter them was not just propaganda, but it was the reality of what was happening. So once more, before I go play the video again, for people the way the radio come, because this video be done cut before you want start again, I go play the video for way to way Sako be the talk, and then way to way it happen now make una know the truth for way to way it happen. Me be very, very clean and clear for the mind of all man. Me no man no can fool una. So I get the video. When I remember this video,
process is alive because La Republique has, that's it. If the day La Republique will cease to commit to be on the table, there's
so now Sako that it talk say Cameroon government it don't commit for the Switzerland talks. And I'll be done tell say the DB then now Sako and both have they don't follow them. Like how they say many times they can't contradict the tribal talk, even the truth. So when I hear
Committed.
Well, first, let me say the last part. La République du Cameroon is not committed to the process. They are not.
Swiss ceases to be a mediator. Because a mediator is one who is bringing two willing parties together to dialogue and negotiate.
so wait to wait Sako the talk because if he say our people them foolish, if he use na good English to talk na say the Swiss na a mediator. So by definition, Swiss is mediating between two willing parties. The Ambazonian led by him and La Republique led by Paul Biya. So because the name of mediator means that Swiss is mediating. But the fact of the matter is that the whole thing was a scam. Cameroon government have not committed. Cameroon government is just using it is just something they have allowed it to go. They have allowed it to see whether these people will fall and surrender for them. That is what have been happening. So let me bring the video now of today, the most relevant one, to show you people exactly the truth, which is not from an Ambazonian perspective, but it is the perspective from Honorable Hoffman from the from German in his interview with Chris Ano himself, so you people can understand the truth of what is happening.
Paul Biya is the one blocking the Swiss HD mediation initiative. What, in your opinion?
So now Chris Ano this now, in a rush for go get interview them, they can't tell on the truth. Now he this the talk say, now Paul Biya be the obstacle because Paul Biya never commit for this their so-called dialogue. So when I hear and now Sako that they don't talk for, and I say Paul Biya don't commit, Paul Biya na a willing person. Now Chris Ano this is talk for now. So that man way even if you foolish now how me you know talk say you know the truth. If you decide to believe for believe lies, that means say by yourself you don't become a fufulefu. You say you don't deceive yourself. So now the truth is
Paul Biya is the one blocking the Swiss HD mediation initiative. What, in your opinion, do you think should be done to take away that blockage?
Yeah, I'm convinced it has to stop. Something like that. So this is a limited approach we have, and it's just limited possibilities for sanctions. Sometimes people will get to finance quite a long time.
Okay, we're gonna hear the response.
Conflict this can't last forever. So this is, I mean, we have been having the Swiss mediation for 2 years. This is too long, and we should stop it now. And
so now the Mr. Honorable Hoffman that they talk say the Swiss mediation it only go on for the Swiss process it only go on for 2 years, and they should stop it. And Paul Biya is not involved. They have to actually get international coalition to force their government to bring pressure on Mr. Paul Biya to commit to a real negotiation. For my way, no, he hear them block. At least when I feel here, when I feel pump me come off for this side.
is what we have in the initiative with the American parliamentarians, with some German parliamentarians. We have some parliamentarians from the European Parliament, and hopefully we get a critical mass together so we put pressure on our government and maybe see some, at least the threat of sanctions might even help.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I will bring one now for defense before I do want close the show today. And I hope say our TV go to take me out after this video. I will give una one of our videos as we don't tell on our forces that don't be inside Lebialem. They don't kick out La Republic 2 of their posts where they run they not put up a fight. I will give una some operational videos and footages. It be very important for instill confidence for our people them. Me then continue say despite Cameroon their propaganda for paying people, bribing people, calling them ex-fighter and so what, it has zero impact on our activities on the ground. The revolution is still strong. Our effort is still redoubling, and we are doing more and more recruitment. We are almost doubling our size, and we are calling on the youth to continue to engage in training to prepare to liberate our homeland. Make I bring on this video for show now our forces, the stabilization force, the activity on the ground, big time, Lebialem.
This is the hope of Ambazonian self-governance and Ambazonian sovereignty as Sudan push La République du Cameroon out of a complete liberated area for inside Lebialem. Our forces then be in total control, the transitional authority be in place, and we need to be proud and get hope for our ability for liberate homeland.
The army we need for control ground zero, it already be formed. When I visit all else to see them. The better the airline they pack their bags, they go them, it will be better for all them. They just come out from this village.
We then push out to La République du Cameroon, their outpost, and we then show our people them how quickly we fit transform our dynamic control into static control.
When I got Mukashi, and now so they run launch Konku again, over 3,000 soldiers.
We intensify our training program for make sure say Ambazonian them be capable for take over their country, for implement the takeover plan we would work upon for the governing council and the ADF.
I tell that and then the Modi tank, the egg of sea. If you start beside me, if you see the biggest brigade this, brigade Yannick maybe this.
This is Ambazonian ingenuity, pure African, pure amber bred, professional military, well trained, well motivated to defend homeland.
Now with this, now this year, I know it'll be easy. When I got it, one get power. Now this year, wow, Ambazonian are for be grateful. Say finally.
Fellow Ambazonian, as you can see from those video footages, our challenges are enormous, and we call on all Ambazonian to donate and support the armed resistance on the ground. We need to buy bullets and guns and RPG and heavy weaponry for our forces on the ground. This is a force that we have demonstrated to our people and the international community our ability to transform quickly from a guerrilla force into a contemporary force on the ground. And this is our posture. We have shown you that we can take over a city like Bamenda, Boya, Tico, Victoria, and any city and actually control it when we liberate our country or when Cameroon pull its soldiers out of our territory. This is very, very important. And we have shown you people how we can transform a dynamic control of our territory to a static control. It's time for you to do your own patriotic duty. Why those boys, they mount the ground to liberate our homeland and hold the ground for us, we need to deep in our pocket and support the armed resistance.
We need to align with the Ambazonian Defense Forces. This is the hope to stabilize our homeland and to make sure collaboration is for liberation. This is going to stem out kidnapping for ransom. This is going to bring order to Ground Zero and be able for us to maintain a scenario where there will be no fear for Southern Sudan or whatsoever. Collaborate, support, and do your patriotic duty for the soldiers on the ground. God bless you.
Regarde comment vous êtes partis, ça nous a laissé par derrière. Regardez-nous, regarde-nous. Regarde tous les petits frères qui sont partis. Regardez. Tout ça est blâme. On n'est pas à comprendre ce qui se passe. Comprends un peu ce qui se passe. Comprends mon ami. Comprends un peu. Comprends un peu toute la population. Regarde tous les enfants du peuple. Personne n'a manqué.
Stay tuned on ACN. Stay tuned on ACN TV. We will be right back.